Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We have got our NBA prediction. Yes, only one prediction today for December 9th because there's only one game today between the New York Knicks and the Toronto Raptors. Now, if you watched our college basketball best bets earlier today, and if you haven't, go check that video out after this video is over. Link is in the description down below. Or if you watched our NBA predictions yesterday, which again, I highly suggest you do every single day on the channel, I did say there's only one game today. And we will go more in depth, I'll say, on the Toronto Raptors and the New York Knicks today, giving our prediction for this one game. But after that, we are also going to look at the NBA standings and really just look at the NBA as a whole right now. We'll look at the the MVP race. We'll look at the points per game leaders, assists per game leaders, rebounds per game leaders, because we really don't get a chance to do that because all I do here on the channel is just predict games daily. So we're going to go more in depth to just everything else in the association today because we have the time, because there's only one game today. We don't gotta predict 12, 14 games like there were yesterday. Obviously, tomorrow is the knockout round of the in-season tournament. Big games on both Tuesday and Wednesday, so we'll get to those, of course, when we get to them tomorrow. But folks, if you have not yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below for some more daily NBA predictions here on the channel. Again, I mentioned it earlier, but college basketball predictions our best bets are daily here on the channel as well as our weekly UFC predictions. Now, yesterday we posted our UFC Tampa predictions with Colby Chaos Covington and Joaquin Buckley in the main event for the final UFC card 2024. Later today, we'll be back for our PFL Europe Championships predictions as well. And also, folks, make sure to go check out our 20,000 subscribers special video. And with that 20,000 subscriber special video, we did announce our giveaway on the channel that we're doing right now for 20,000 subscribers. We're giving away $100, and all you have to do to enter the giveaway is 1, subscribe to the channel, and 2, follow on Instagram. It is the first link in the description down below, and it is absolutely free. So if you subscribe and follow on Instagram, you are automatically entered into the giveaway. It is absolutely free, and we will draw a winner on Saturday. So make sure you do that because, again, it's literally free to do so. So make sure you get that done. Now let's get on to our one prediction today. And yes, it is up in Canada, the New York Knicks taking on the Toronto Raptors. I am taking the New York Knicks to cover the 6.5 points. Originally, this game opened up at -4.5 for the New York Knicks, but we have seen a line movement, obviously, from that 4.5 points to 6.5. And again, we like New York in this basketball game. Why? The Knicks have been playing better basketball recently. I know they lost the Pistons the other night, and Cade Cunningham put up, really a season-high day. That's a weird way of putting it. But he had one of his best games of the season, obviously, on Saturday night against the Knicks. Cunningham balled out and propelled the Pistons to victory 120 to 111. Cunningham in that basketball game had posted a triple-double, 29, 10, and 15. For the Knicks in that one, obviously, again, it's kind of the same thing that we always say with the Knicks. Jalen Brunson goes off. Mikal Bridges does his thing. Anunoby kind of does his thing. They had no Karl-Anthony Towns in that game, though, that game against the Pistons. Cat was out due to right knee tendonitis. I believe he should be able to play this game against the Pistons, if I'm not mistaken. He's a game-time decision. I would expect Cat to play this basketball game. That's probably why we did see that, line movement. 4.5 was probably assuming Cat was not going to play, and now 6.5 with Karl-Anthony Towns probably in the lineup. And that should help the Knicks out a lot, obviously. For the Toronto Raptors, they are coming off back-to-back losses against the Oklahoma City Thunder and against the Dallas Mavericks. Losing that Mavericks game by 7, they got blown out in the Thunder game, like everyone, kind of just get, ran through by the Thunder. Pause. But Toronto, again, we say it every video, Toronto, their young core, again, Scotty Barnes, Grady Dick, RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett is probably an all-star this season the way he's playing. RJ Barrett has been putting up numbers this year for Toronto. Obviously, again, was traded from the New York Knicks to the Toronto Raptors on December 30th of last year, so we're approaching a full year since that original trade. But RJ Barrett, man, has been balling this year for the Raptors, averaging 23.5 points per game, 6.5 rebounds, and 6 assists. Scotty Barnes, when healthy, does his thing as well, obviously playing the point guard for this Toronto team. Scotty averaging 21, 9, and 8. He's having a phenomenal season. Grady Dick is having a great year as well. Dick is averaging 18.5, 3 and 2, and also give a huge shout out to their starting center Jakob Poeltl, who's really been locking it down for Toronto at that 5, averaging 16 and 12. Again, Poeltl has done an amazing job for Toronto this season. Ultimately, though, we do just like the Knicks in this basketball game. There's just too many guys who can score on this Knicks team for Toronto, and I just don't think the Raptors are going to be able to keep up. I think Karl-Anthony Towns, should be okay in this matchup down low against Jakob Poeltl. I think, again, Cat's more than capable of holding his own in that, defensive matchup, and also just, grabbing rebounds against Jakob Poeltl as well. And Jalen Brunson by far is the best player on the court. Let's not, understate that at all. Jalen Brunson is the best player on this, on this Knicks team. He's the best player on the court as a whole. 25.5 points per game average so far this season for Brunson. And again, the supporting pieces are there too. Anunoby, Bridges, Josh Hart. Miles McBride's been, in and out of being healthy or not. But, he's obviously, McBride's been a big help this season as well. Cameron Payne actually hasn't been too bad for what they ask him to do. The Knicks as a whole are just the way deeper team, and they are the way better team. When you look at the last, 4 games these two teams played, dating back to December 1st of 2023. So, again, in the last 2 seasons where these two teams have met, they played twice in 2023. They played, the last 4 matchups, December 1st, 2023, Knicks won the game by 13 points. December 11th, 2023, the Knicks won the game by 6 points. Again, covered both of those. January 20th, 2024, New York wins the game by 26 points. March 27th, 2024, the Knicks win the game by 44 points. They have covered this line the last 4 games they played. Not only have the Knicks won every single game that these two teams have played, they have covered in all those games as well, regardless of if the game's at the Garden or if it is up in Toronto as well. And when you look at, again, also, the last time the Raptors beat the Knicks, it was January of 23. We are taking the New York Knicks to win this basketball game, and we are taking them to cover the 6.5 points as well. I know they're on the road, but we still do like New York to win the basketball game. So, like I mentioned earlier, we're not done yet. Again, our prediction for today is New York minus 6.5. We're going to take about 5 minutes here to just look over what we've got going on in the association currently. Here are the NBA standings right now. We're going to go over the Eastern Conference first, and we're going to go over the Western Conference. I'm just going to talk about teams either in a pretender or contender way right now. Basically, we're going to go over, I'm just going to start listing all 15 teams in each conference, and really quickly, I'm going to tell you if I think that team's legit, if they're going to stay where they are in the standings, if they're underperforming, overperforming, or performing just right, basically. That's probably a better way to put it. I'll use a mixture of all of that, though. The Cavaliers, obviously, getting this 21-4 start. They're good. They're not going to keep this pace, obviously, but yes, Cleveland's a contender. Same can be said about Boston. You know what I'm going to say about the Celtics. The Magic, unfortunately, the injuries. Torn oblique injuries from both Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner is just unfortunate. There's no other way to put it. It's difficult. And unfortunately for the Magic, when those guys are back, they'll be great. But right now, I can't really trust the Magic to hold their spot. I do think they're going to fall a lot in the standings here. You look at the New York Knicks, they will keep rising. Those guys are for real. And by the way, the Magic are for real when their guys are healthy. Miami, I don't know. I have mixed feelings on Miami. I really do. I don't really think they are all that great. They'll be in the playoffs. I don't think they're a team that's going to make a push this season. The Bucks are for real. I think the Hawks are for real. I actually think they are. Are they going to win a chip this year? Obviously not, but I do think they're for real, at least in being a playoff team this season. I understand, again, they just lost to the Nuggets, who just lost to the Wizards, and Trae Young puts up a crazy game against the Lakers, and then he puts up 1 point against the Denver Nuggets. I don't know what to tell you for that. It's weird. But Atlanta's legit. Trust me. Brooklyn, I like Brooklyn. I think they're going to be a hell of a whole lot better when Cam Thomas comes back. They are a play-in team, though. That's what they are this season, but I think they are performing again kind of where I think they should be. I think Brooklyn's having a good year this year, and Indiana's underperforming, obviously. But I don't know when they're ever going to start performing. Again, I've been saying it for the longest time, this is where Indiana turns the page. This is where they go on their streak. Because what the Pacers have done so well, all right? I'll give you some background for, my kind of fandom with the Indiana Pacers, okay? I started really following the Pacers when Victor Oladipo got traded there, obviously, from the Oklahoma City Thunder. I was always a big Victor Oladipo guy. I watched him when he was at Indiana with the Hoosiers. That was really the first real college basketball player I ever really liked was Victor Oladipo. I liked him on the Magic, obviously. He gets traded to the Thunder. He gets traded to the Indiana Pacers. So I, for the most part, become an Indiana Pacers fan because of Victor Oladipo. So there was a time period where I watched for 3 years every Indiana Pacers game, regardless of, yes, even the years when Victor was hurt, or that time period in 2019 where Oladipo got injured. I was still watching the Pacers every single day. Indiana, what they would do so well in the Victor Oladipo era. Now, I can't speak of the Paul George era because I wasn't watching Indiana every single game when Paul George was around. For the Oladipo era, and at least when Oladipo left, I really didn't give too much of a damn about Indiana, I'll be honest. But last year, I was in Indiana, so I watched the Pacers a lot, and I've become a big Tyrese Halliburton fan. I know he crapped the bed last night against Charlotte. It was horrible, but still. Now, just again, as I've been keeping track of the Pacers, obviously last season with Tyrese, and for the Victor Oladipo years, what the Pacers have done so well, they win the games they're supposed to win. They beat the teams who are at the bottom of the barrel. The teams like the Charlotte Hornets, like the Detroit Pistons, like the Chicago Bulls. They beat those teams. They do what they're supposed to do. And that's how even like the year where Oladipo was injured, the bubble year, where he came back middle of the season, even the year he initially got injured too, the Pacers were still able to be the 4th seed in the Eastern Conference both of those years. The bubble year, they were the 4th seed over the Heat at the time, who were the 5th, because they would just win their games against these lowly teams. This is the problem with Indiana. This is why I've always been telling you, like, oh, the Pacers, they're going to find their ways, obviously. Well, no, they haven't. They haven't beat those teams that they've always beat over the last couple of years. I don't know if it's a Rick Carlisle issue, but I just think it's the team as a whole. That's why I'm just waiting for Indiana to get it going. I don't know if they're ever going to. They will be a team that's going to at least be in the play-in. I expect them to finish either 7th or 8th probably this season still, but they are underperforming, 100%. Will they ever get it together, though? Who knows? Chicago, they're going to fall out eventually, let's just be honest. Detroit, playing better this season, but I think they're kind of overperforming. Yes, even with the 10 wins. Philadelphia's underperforming. When Joel Embiid comes back, they'll be fine. Philly's going to be a play-in team this year. They will, again, regroup. They're only now, 1.5 games out, even with that horrible start. Jared McCain's the Rookie of the Year. Tyrese Maxey's balling out. They'll be fine. Charlotte, again, they are struggling right now without LaMelo Ball. Obviously, they still beat the Pacers. But Charlotte, unfortunately, is not going anywhere this season. Same with Toronto, I'll just be honest with you, and same with the Wizards, obviously, too. So, we go to the Western Conference. The OKC Thunder, best team in basketball. That's, obviously. They will be the number 1 seed, I think, in the Western Conference. The Grizzlies are performing better than I thought they were this year, but I think they'll kind of just stay at that spot. I don't know if they're going to be the 2 seed, but they will be a team that I think, doesn't have to play in the play-in because, again, John Morant changes that team, and Jaren Jackson's playing like an all-star, and he should be an all-star this season. The Houston Rockets are overperforming. I don't give a damn. I know they won last night against the Clippers. I hate both those teams, I'll be honest with you, just because they're just weird, and I can't get a read on them. And the Clippers use the dark magic that the Kansas City Chiefs use. The Rockets, though, they're just overperforming. They're not going to be. They are a play-in team, right? They are kind of what the Pelicans were last season. Great early in the season, and they're just going to fall off as the season keeps on moving on. The Mavericks are legit. Obviously, we know that from last season. They'll be fine. The Warriors are going to start to fall off a cliff. I know they beat the Timberwolves yesterday, but I still remain adamant on that point. Golden State's a play-in team. They're not going to be one of the top 6 teams in the Western Conference. The Clippers are the same thing. They will fall off a cliff. The Nuggets are a team that will finish in the top 6 because they're Denver. They're great. The Lakers, I truly believe, will get it figured out. I think they will be a top 6 team. I think they will avoid the play-in. I refuse to believe that LeBron is still playing this well at this age, about to turn 40, and they don't find their way to a top 6 seed. Are the Lakers going anywhere in the postseason? No, I don't think they make it past the second round. But I think they will be a top 6 team. I think they will escape the play-in this season. Minnesota, again, underperforming right now. They'll be fine. Phoenix, underperforming without Kevin Durant. They will be fine. San Antonio, I think kind of performing kind of where we think they are. They should be. The Western Conference is just really difficult. That's just where they are. It sucks, but the Western Conference is difficult. Same with the Sacramento Kings, underperforming obviously. Sacramento will be fine. They will probably be a play-in team. Again, I know I'm saying a lot for a lot of these teams, but think about it. The top 10 right now in the Western Conference, these teams will probably all be around. It's just a matter of who drops out, you'd think, for the Sacramento Kings. I don't know if any of them do. I know, again, we're very early in the season, but seriously, which one of these 10 are worse than the Sacramento Kings? It's probably the Clippers. Let's just be honest. It's probably the Clippers. They are probably the team that eventually drops out for Sacramento. It could be Houston. I know they have a great start, but I don't know, guys. I really don't think the Rockets are that good. They are so fraudulent. Anyways, Portland, not great. Utah, not great. Pelicans suck. Okay, so obviously, Portland kind of performing where I think they're going to be. Utah, same thing. New Orleans, obviously underperforming, but that's what's going to happen with their injuries, right? They're playing with the G League team. That's just the unfortunate truth for New Orleans. They're going to kind of have to just wave the white flag on this season. And then real quick, let's go over the season leaders, just, every position or every, stat. Points per game, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Nikola Jokic, LaMelo Ball, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Luka Doncic. No surprises here. Giannis, again, playing like an MVP. Jokic playing like an MVP. LaMelo Ball is playing like he's at Chino Hills. Shai, MVP candidate. Luka, right? Right now, if I had to pick an MVP, I'd probably say it's... if I had to vote... My vote's going to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I'll be honest with you. I know. You can say, oh, well, he's only averaging 30 compared to these other guys. Guys, Jokic put up 58 points the other night, and they still lost the Wizards. That's not the flex that you think it is. The Wizards had 8 players out, and the Wizards are the worst team in the NBA. I don't think Jokic is the MVP. Giannis, I can see it, but voter fatigue, we're going with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, okay? Jokic leads the NBA in rebounds. Then you got Cat, Sabonis, Zubac, Antetokounmpo, really no surprises there. Assists per game, Trae Young's him. Let's just be honest, Trae Young is that guy. I know, again, horrible performance last night against the Nuggets, but it is what it is. Trae Young is still a baller. 12 assists per game. He's averaging 22 points per game. All-star starter. Again, bad game yesterday, but all-star starter. Jokic, averaging a triple-double. What do you want me to say? Cade Cunningham having a great season this year. LeBron James is still an elite basketball player at his age. LeBron is top 10 in the NBA right now. He is. Doesn't matter. James Harden, the Clippers just shoot threes all game, so it takes one pass for Harden kick. You know, it's drive and kick, or it's just dribble the ball up the court. Norman Powell take the shot. That's why James Harden has those assists. Victor Wembanyama, no surprise, he leads the NBA in blocks. Walker Kessler's a great rim protector. I'd love to see him in Los Angeles. It's not going to happen, but the Lakers fan in me really wants to see Walker Kessler with the Lakers. I think he'd be a great fit. The Jazz wouldn't give him up, but still. Brook Lopez, Donovan Clingan, Miles Turner, all notorious shot blockers. Miles Turner, though, is struggling this season on a contract year. He needs to pick it up. The Pacers will not get rid of him, but Miles is not playing good basketball this season. Three-pointers made, LaMelo, Ant, Tyler Hero, Stephen Curry, Brandon Miller. No shockers on that list. Steals per game, if it matters. Dyson Daniels, Jalen Williams, Tari Eason, Tyrese Maxey, Luka Doncic. Again, no real surprises on that list. And that about does it, folks. The Cavs lead the NBA in points per game, obviously, and the Magic are the best defensive team in the NBA. Again, no real surprises on that list. So, folks, that'll do it for our daily NBA predictions here. Again, we went over the NBA a little bit. I gave my quick thoughts on every single team. Again, I go over them briefly in every single video, but I just want to go over it, more extensively today because I'm not making a pick on every team. I can just freely talk about whatever team I want and the stats I want to talk about. And again, we'll be back tomorrow for our knockout round picks here for the in-season tournament. So, folks, thank you all for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. And make sure to enter the $100 giveaway on Instagram as well. So, folks, thank you all for watching, and Mamba forever.